It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the messenger, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become Messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque, then in the same church, in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of a president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look through our soul, we see nothing but we star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Welcome everyone to the 63rd One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace. It's Tuesday, January 22nd, 2019. I'll be your host today, Rick Crammond, and this is a publication and broadcast from the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Public Education in English. And as always in this series, we're joined with Carolina Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, and I think she's eager to start today's workshop here. Are you there, Carolina?
Yes, Rick, I am present for today, and so many more to come. Wish you a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Have a nice cup of tea or coffee ready, because we're going to fly into a new adventure of plasma. I asked you, Rick, to bring the wish list up, to put the last wish up, which was discussed yesterday in the teaching. And this was a wish which got created by a lot of knowledge seekers being present. But I could only put the words together today. And I would love to invite all of you to see in how more or more depth, we can create a wish in that direction. And all from your point of view and what you have experienced to extend the wish which has appeared here. Maybe Rick, you can read it.
Okay, just a second here. I'm just getting it set up in the live stream. Okay, there we go. So this wish says, I wish the knowledge seekers to direct their gifts and wisdom and knowledge and understanding and donations and beauties under the umbrella and ethos of the Keshe Foundation, where it all originated from. Bless you all. And that's from Carolina Keshe, the Universal Council member, Netherlands. I am present with that wish.
Yes, I am present.
I am present.
Present.
I am present.
I am present.
My soul is always present.
I am present.
I am present.
I am present.
And we have Yvonne, Dan, and Dennis, and Estella in the chat who are claiming they're present as well. All right, perhaps you can explain a bit about this, Carolina.
I do apologize. I'm on the road, so I'm going to be in and out for the next 10, 15 minutes until I have a stable network. You can hear me, Rick?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody, any ideas?
Carolina, Rick, hello, it's Peggy.
Hi, Peggy.
I was
Hi,
just
Peggy.
hi. I was just thinking that this wish, Carolina, is absolutely beautiful, of course. But it is a reunification call to everyone who has ever come across the path and become a knowledge seeker, even for a moment, since Mr. Keshe has begun on this journey of teaching. And I support this wish fully, and that the reunification of everyone that has gone out comes back. And even if it's just with one piece of knowledge that they have added to what Mr. Keshe taught, just to share it within our family or within the foundational structure. Thank you, Carolina. It's a beautiful wish.
You're welcome. Thank you. But we can add more beautiful words and phrases to it to make it complete. So what would you suggest?
Those who have gone astray, so to speak, if they could return and become teachers, because a lot have gone out into the world, so to speak, to learn on their own or in small groups. And they're not completely disconnected because we are always still connected, but their expansion of their knowledge. I think that it's important for those ones to come back and even be closer to the foundation than flying the coop, so to speak, because you have the others to help you when you're expanding so quickly. So I wish them to return, and what they have learned we can add to, and what they've again, and they can become teachers to teach those that are still just showing up today. We have people every day that are new. So the ones that have left even 3 years ago or 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago, if they could just return again with what they have. And because Mr. Keshe is the one that brought this to us. Thank you.
So, Peggy, would you like me to write something down that would summarize what you're saying there?
I wish that knowledge seekers with sufficient knowledge return to the foundation and offer their gifts in the form of becoming instructors or teachers. I'm not sure, but that they somehow apply what they've learned and they themselves have benefited from Mr. Keshe's teachings, that they return and share that with the new ones through the foundation and supporting Mr. Keshe additional teachings, because he's still showing up every week. He still shows up and teaches us more. So, we need to continually reunify.
So I need to have the words here. I got lost a bit there. I've got so far, I wish that knowledge seekers with sufficient knowledge return to the foundation. And then I kind of lost. I have apply what they learn and share that.
Share what they have learned or gained. That is in the correct ethos. With the foundation through teaching. Gosh, there's so many things that you could do to give back to the foundation when you have that kind of knowledge. They could, set up their own labs and teach from a lab. That would be beautiful in a physical setting. But again, tying back into the foundation, bringing the reunification back so that, but again, let me stick back to your words here. With the foundation through teaching, setting up labs. And for those who actually have been blessed to have large groups come and have websites and have been able to support themselves.
Wait a minute. I can't keep up with your words. If you want all this down, then you have to go slow. So
I'm sorry. I'm thinking out loud.
Okay, well,
Okay, well, so setting up labs, and for those who are able, let's just put are able, to financially donate to the foundation, do so. I want the ones that are in a better situation because of the foundation. And they're supporting the foundation by teaching and doing things, but they need to just come back and do it with the foundation. Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to get in this wish, Rick. And I'm talking, out loud to myself, and I'm sorry that I was driving you crazy with that.
Well, it's a matter of just getting it into what we call black and white with the actual letters and words that you wish to have recorded for posterity here. So we have some thoughts, and we have this paragraph here to work with. So let me read what you have so far, and you can change what you like or add to it. And we just have okay, or do you want to read it perhaps? Maybe you read it, and that way you'll see if it sounds right for you.
I will give it the old college try.
Okay.
I wish that knowledge seekers with sufficient knowledge return to, well, first of all, I need to change that. I want them all to come back, not just the ones with sufficient knowledge. I wish that knowledge seekers return to the foundation and apply what they learn and share what they have learned or gained that is in the correct ethos with the foundation. Maybe put a period after foundation. Okay, comma's good. Through teaching, setting up labs, and for those who are able financially to put after financially, put the word to. Donate to the foundation. And then you can take out do so at the end. I think that's too much there. Does that make more sense? And maybe others could just use this as a even though this is my wish, maybe they have better words so that it ties my thoughts together in language form. Thank you, Rick, very much.
Okay, that sounds complete there, I think. Thank you, Peggy.
Hi. Hello, it's Mehran. I'm absolutely present with Carolina's wish, and I propose that everybody who hears this message, I wish to even symbolically help financially the Keshe Foundation with buying something as soon as they can, and they report the effects of that in their lives, how things changed after that. Because I'm sure that
okay, do you want to just dictate that to me again, and we'll get it down on, I think you had it fairly clear.
I wish that everybody who hears, who is informed by the message of Carolina Keshe, as helps supports financially the foundation that is in need of our support. Twice I use it. As soon as they can, and after that, report the changes they have seen in their lives. Um, after that, sweet of this action. I mean, like we try to donate and then report what happened in our lives after, which we couldn't succeed to do before that. As a result of this donation, what happened in our lives? And I'm sure that.
Wait a second. So far, I have
that everybody donates.
You said, I wish that everybody, I think you said, who is informed by the message of Carolina Keshe. Is that the way you said it at first?
By this message.
Pardon me?
By this message of Mrs. Keshe, by the message of foundation to support financially for the needs of the foundation, which is for the public use, for the benefit of everyone, free and which is for benefit of everybody, everyone. And then report the benefits they got.
You had something before report. I think something about buying products or supporting in some way. What was it?
Support by donation, by financial donation, by donations.
Okay.
And then express their results they got after this action, after the action.
Just going to put that on the next page. Okay, I'll just read it out so that we have it clear. Which is, I wish that everybody who is informed by this message of Carolina Keshe to support financially the foundation that is in need of our support, which is a benefit to everyone, as soon as they can by donations, and report the changes they have seen in their lives after this action. It's maybe a bit long, but it's okay if you're, are you fine with that, or would you like to change or add to it in any way?
To support financially the foundation for the benefit of everybody.
Take out this part here that is in need of our support. Like this, maybe.
Yeah, for benefit of everybody.
Okay, that's for the, there we go, for the benefit of everyone. As soon as they can, by donations, and report the changes they've seen in their lives after this action. Okay, seems good. Are you happy with that, Mariness?
Well, it's not really grammatically okay, but I just wanted to expressed. We have to start this step to start it with ourselves, and I'm absolutely sure that there's going to be changes after that, after this donation.
All right, good point.
And also about Peggy's wish, she says people who have the labs and they learn, because I think people do things, they work hard, but it depends in which direction they go. Like for example, I may learn a lot, but it depends for what use I have learned it, in which direction. Okay, I have been, maybe if I learn science foundation, as it's in the HS of Mr. Keshe intention, or is it just for myself, my people around me, and because it's good, it works? You know, I mean, we are knowledge seeker. It depends in what direction we want to use this knowledge and labs and.
Good point. So that has to do with one's intention, and to set the intention, set the your inner direction before even starting, even setting up the lab to start with, actually.
Yeah, because I always thought this science is strong. That's why we signed the peace treaty. But it doesn't work. It's a strength. It doesn't lose its strength in the hand of anybody with different maybe intention. I hope it's not true, but I think it's important the intention be in the ethos of the founder, which is Mr. Keshe. The activities of knowledge seekers with using that be in the ethos of the fund.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have a wish from Dan that I'll put in. It's in the chat. He says, I wish those who have come into contact with this plasma technology to share the changes they have had in their lives or those around them. Okay, thank you, Dan. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak at this point? We have a number of panelists, and if you want to go ahead and open a microphone, you can go ahead, and if you're an attendee and need to have your microphone opened, you can put your hand up and we can accommodate that.
I had a wish that I wanted, and I think you brought this up too, Rick, about professional stenographers becoming interested in plasma technology so that they could help to get caught up on the backlog of transcribing. But then when Mr. Keshe said that things are going to be leaking out in the international press, and they've tried everything they could to prevent it from leaking out, it's creating a cognitive dissonance in my mind. Of course, that's just in my mind. Meaning, we want to introduce the knowledge. Why are we trying to prevent it from leaking out? Maybe someone could answer it, or it could just be discussed. Or maybe we over-revved the reactor and we have to slow it down for a moment, or it has to pull in more energy and then make another heartbeat.
Well, one answer might be that there's lots of information that's on the borderline of what could be called healthcare, or teaching about health aspects, and that can get a little dicey as far as the authorities and other figures are concerned. And what is if you use the word cure, for example, which we don't in the Keshe Foundation, then you can be charged with claiming to cure cancer. That's against the law to claim to cure cancer. People have been put in prison because of that. And so we have so much knowledge out there from the Keshe Foundation on all aspects, and a lot of it is quite disruptive, quite honestly. I mean, it's disruptive to pharmaceutical companies, it's disruptive to the oil industry, it might be disruptive to governments, or might be disruptive to groups of certain types, and so on and so forth. But it's part of the technology. So where do we draw the line as to how much detail that we can put out in the public, and basically have it acceptable, have it okay that information is out in the wild, and that people won't abuse it, and that it'll be useful for those who need it, which is the prime criteria. That's why we're getting all this knowledge out into the world, is there are people out there that need to hear this, that need to hear some particular details of the teaching that Mr. Keshe has been putting out for years and years here. And it's important for them to hear that particular aspect. So we don't want to hold back on the knowledge as far as that goes. But on the other hand, maybe there is a time for a retardation of the efforts to retard the timing of things, you might say, in terms of advancing and retarding timing in an automobile engine, at least, or that analogy. And it might be a time to just back off a little bit, let the dust settle, as they say, and then go back into it again with renewed efforts, which is, to me, that's what I think we've been going through here. There's been a lull, there's been a bit of letting the dust settle, is the best way to put it. And now it's time to get out the brooms and do some more dusting, perhaps.
Thank you.
There might be other perspectives, many other perspectives other than the one I just brought up, but that's part of it, is some hesitation, especially after various court cases and everything else that has gone on for Mr. Keshe. I mean, in a way, he has to protect himself, we have to protect the Keshe Foundation. So, management makes certain decisions about that and so on. We have to go with what's acceptable. Like, for example, just one small example is the Keshe Foundation doesn't show pictures of children in their teachings. And that's part of some of the rules of the internet now is you're not supposed to just show pictures of children, especially without permission, full permission, in writing from the parents and from any other caregivers and so on. And even then it's dicey. So the Keshe Foundation management has decided just not to show pictures of children, even though it's cute, even though it's very invigorating, and it's great to see pictures of children working with the plasma technology. Nothing greater to inspire people and to inspire the young people that need to keep working with it. But it's part of the rules of the internet now that things have changed in the last year, and it's different now. So we don't show pictures of children. So for whatever reason, that might upset certain people, or they might think it's silly or whatever. But it's now part of the ethos until some later date where Mr. Keshe and the management decides that maybe it is safe to show children's pictures, which might be soon, because there's ways that they can track the pictures so that if there is any abuse, it instantly gets picked up, and that's that. So
yeah, I thought I had read recently, which Google had won a court case which said it can use anyone's picture without their permission for face recognition or something, and maybe it'll be challenged and so on. But this is just within our structure, you're saying?
Google is not a corporation that's using the pictures and putting pictures out in the internet. And it's a standard thing. You don't see many pictures of children on the news without their faces being blurred out now. All of a sudden we see blurred faces, except for those that have expressly given their permission and so on. So it's just a changing world, and there's been new regulations like in Europe for recording of information. A company now, if you record anyone's email address and have it on your list, then you have to be under certain regulations, and you have to do it in a certain way, and it has to be available to the authorities and so on and so forth. There's a whole new set of regulations on all of that. So anyway, we're getting a bit far afield there. Let's get back to your wish. How would you like to make it here, Mark?
Well, I would like to say that retired or active transcribers would become interested in plasma knowledge to convert some of the video workshops and others in a professional and low-cost manner.
Okay, just a minute. I'm on, I think it's would become interested in the plasma technology. I wish that retired or active transcribers would become interested in the plasma technology.
I meant stenographers or transcribers, but particularly I thought you had mentioned stenographers, court stenographers and so on, or people that do these things professionally, right?
Okay, would become interested in the plasma technology. And what do you have after that?
I think in a manner of service to the foundation.
Okay. Does that say it for you then? I wish that retired or active stenographers or transcribers would become interested in the plasma technology in a manner of service to the foundation.
Yeah, just show up and say, I don't know why, I can transcribe, I'm here, what would you like me to do? And then, of course, just in the plasma world, they're going to be attracted to it, most likely.
Right, like we could use someone that had 120 words per minute typing capability to transcribe the entire 3-hour Knowledge Seekers workshop every week. And if someone could do that, that would be such an amazing, wonderful, great service to do. And that would enable the translations, and we could do the final touch up maybe of the transcription and that kind of thing. But if someone could actually get like a 98 or 99% of the English words down in proper order so they make sense according to what is actually said, and that would be so much of a blessing, and would eliminate so much work when we try to piece it out or have people work on it, you know, in their spare time and so on, that aren't as fast as a court stenographer.
And that would be doing the 3 hours without even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, well, you know, even if there were, say, 2 of them, they could switch back and forth and just take a break and, you know, help each other out or something like that, or have a team helping the one that's the leader and, you know, trying to fill in for them and so on. So that's it's actually a wonderful wish, Mark. So.
Well, you instigated it.
Well, as some people might know, that's how I got originally interested in the Keshe Foundation, was through transcribing. And I was listening to the first teachings of Mr. Keshe, the 5 video series of where he talks about the neutron and proton and so on, and sits in front of the fire and tells us that it's time for mankind to stop the burning, explains how the electron works and so on, which I had the question for all my life. But I wanted to actually read the words he was saying so that it would register even more for me, and more importantly, so others could also immediately read the words as the videos were playing, like in the subscripts or captions. So I made it my job for the next months to go through those videos and peck away at typing out the words, and then I had them uploaded by the webmaster and put them on the website and so on, and then I started making sure that those videos got hits on them through my YouTube channel, which was quite popular at that time. I would direct people to these videos and so on, and got, you know, thousands of hits on the videos that weren't getting that much attention. So I realized the power of transcribing through that action, and what a wonderful job it is in a way, because you actually gain a greater understanding when you type down the words, especially if you have to listen to it several times or maybe a dozen times over and over to catch the key words that are being said and make sure you got the correct understanding, the correct English and so on. And it's not always easy with Mr. Keshe's language. And so that became my job, my volunteer job for quite some time. And it was my entry point to be able to interact with the webmaster and start interacting eventually with Mr. Keshe and so on, and become part of the workings of the Keshe Foundation. So I would highly recommend anyone to get involved with transcribing, even if you're not a transcriber or stenographer, because there's lots and lots of back workshops that still need to be done, and lots of work to touch things up and time it and so on for the captions. And it can be a great job for someone, especially if you got some spare time, you're retired or otherwise, and they're looking for ways, to help. It's a great entry point to be able to be of benefit, and to that way of service that is so important to the ethos of those that work with the Keshe Foundation technology.
And if I could add, it's just like reading a book or going to watch a movie. It sort of takes you into some sort of porthole of something like that, when you read a book or go to the movies. But when you're transcribing a workshop and so on, it's taking you into a portal of the knowledge of the universe. So, I think
true.
Much deeper than the book or the movie about, John Wayne or something.
Well, that's right. And there's another way I've been looking at it recently. Trying to write an article for the Plasma Times regarding transcribing. I was thinking, well, what do transcribers do? And when you think about it, they are the light workers, because they're taking an invisible audio wave, this signal, this audio thing we call sound or voice, but it's invisible, and they're transforming that into light that's visible for us to see. The words on a page, the black on white, what we call getting it down in black and white. It's not there until it's in on paper in black and white. So they're taking an invisible sound wave and transforming it into light, that we're able to see the reflection of the light on the page, and that gives us an impression of knowledge, and we gain an understanding by working with those words and striving to understand what the meaning is and so on. So what a service to be a light worker, actually really a light worker, transforming the invisible into the visible. And what a wonderful job description. What do you do? Oh, I'm a light worker for the Spaceship Institute. I mean, and you can literally say that if you're a transcriber.
Right. And, if you're a court stenographer, if you're transcribing for something else or a program or something, yeah, that's going to be seen and read a few times and then put in an archive somewhere. But if you want your work to live on, these teachings are going to be reviewed and studied for multiple generations from now and probably beyond. So your work will actually be alive for a long, long time.
And that's another aspect, is about it's bringing the words to life, you could say, in a way, because it's hard to spread a verbal word. My words that I'm saying right now may or may not get transcribed from these workshops and so on and so forth. But when they're actually in black and white during a workshop that gets transcribed and so on, then that's set, that's done, and the person that's doing that has put the life into those words by making them correct according to the way they came out originally, and to have that, to try to record that, the effect that took place from those words, not just the words themselves. So you start to engage in an emotional relationship with these words and with the particular topic of that Mr. Keshe is speaking about. For example, it's mostly Mr. Keshe's words that get transcribed that are important ones you're trying to keep for posterity. But so when they get captured, when they get transcribed, it is like a new world that opens up. And that person that does that transcription, they're directly there in that world. Like Mark was saying, it's like reading a book or going to a movie. You're immersed in that world, and usually it's only you and that particular segment that you're working on. Probably no one else has attempted to transcribe it and are busy doing other sections. So your section or whole workshop or whatever it is you take on as a transcriber, that whole world opens up and it becomes part of you, and you become part of it. And it's an amazing feeling to know that you were there to enable those words to be put down in black and white, so that they can be a benefit to others in many ways. And maybe your words will be made into a meme. A particularly good phrase might be made into a meme and distributed to tens or hundreds of thousands of people, or millions of people, or billions of people all over the planet. And that's a pretty powerful thing. But hey, it's nothing to a light worker transcriber. Anyway, good wish, Mark. Thank you for that. Anybody else with any comments or something new? See Stella. Stella has a message in the chat here. So I'll put that into our wishes here.
You could put the dates there on them too.
Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. I was supposed to do that. Let's go back to Carolina's. Actually, I'll put the date underneath. All right. So I'll read Estella's wish here. I think she's not here anymore. I think she had to leave. Okay. Just keep it as is until unless she wants to change it later. So Stella's wish goes, my wish is that all embrace the unification of plasma knowledge, applications, soul wisdom from the foundation ethos, all souls unified by the intention of expansion and supporting the elevation and expansion of the fields through teaching, manufacturing, selling, donating with abundance and unlimited outcome of giving and receiving. Being free but unified by love for the unlimited field of plasma creation. Stella.
That's beautiful.
Okay, very good.
Add at the beginning through the soul journey, because we all went through this self-discovery and understanding the ethos and the soul journey. So right now what I see is everybody is clicking and understanding at the soul level, but we've been in the journey that now realize you're working from the ethos of the field, you know. It's awakening to reposition from another, you know, feet position. We don't need to be disconnected. We are connected and we can have abundance at all levels. So.
Okay, is the paragraph okay the way it is, or is there any words you want to change or anything different?
At the beginning it says through the soul journey.
Right after applications, maybe?
Hold on, I'm busy. So, sorry. At the beginning, I wrote it through the journey of the soul that all embrace, because we all find that through the journey. Everybody has different timing. Myself, I'm throwing us open through the journey.
Through the journey.
Yes, because I'm not asking, I'm wishing that it's like awakening, you know, understanding. It's a natural flow, it's not force.
Okay, so you say, my wish is that through the journey, all embrace the unification of plasma knowledge. Is
through the journey of the soul.
Of the soul, okay.
And I gotta go, sorry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, very good, Stella. Anybody else have any particular things they'd like to add to this document? Just checking the chat here. Yeah, I think we covered that. Okay, Caroline, are you still there, or how is your
you know, I never disappear. I just disappear for a very, very short time till my connection goes back to normal. I've just been very quiet and listening to how the knowledge seekers have responded to that wish and how the input flows out of what is on the table. It's a well-known fact, because we all witness it every day when we go through Facebook and other channels. People are working, they are applying the knowledge, they are enjoying it. And we are just trying to make sure that the foundation can grow for all the newcomers, that they can pass and be part of this beautiful or their beautiful teaching. And the way they set up, because they all have learned something in the process and in the experience. And the most beautiful way is the way Mr. Keshe did, as an example, to share it and reshare it and show and be part of a bigger team. Because as you all know, it's going to start in the Portuguese language in their universities. But very soon, once this project has taken off, other countries and other languages will come into the same position. So they can only bring it as a benefit towards their own nation, their own language speaking people. So they can only serve. And that's why the stimulus is coming to be so open and not to be shy, and also to stimulate the foundation in their work, that they can appoint the necessary teachers which are knowledgeable about this, or even the people which have acquired this knowledge as a teacher, that they can be put in a position that they can support this whole program of teaching. Because it's not one teaching, it's not 1 week, it's not a few months, it is 3 years, and most probably even more years that will come into play, that you secure literally your own way of being part of such a beautiful journey. Not only that, you get acknowledged, you can share what you have learned and the progress of it. It becomes a beautiful team. So we can only expand when it gets returned. It's the more you give, the more you receive. But it shouldn't go always and only outwards. It should also come back, so that there is a dynamic within the foundation, that the foundation then can take you to a further extending of your knowledge. Not only limited to a small and a few, but you see where all this knowledge is taking you to. Portuguese, Brazil, wherever they speak Portuguese, these people will go on a very nice, beautiful journey. German people are also, or the German language group is working so hard and is expanding so beautiful. The French people are at this given moment struggling a little bit, but they're not shy to talk and to share and to say and to explain and to be there. And so is also the Polish team, and the Hungarian and the Bulgarians and the Romanians and the Polish. It's amazing how beautiful the teams are working. Dr. Gatwa is also an example. In Australia, it is just expanding. So why not bring back for that to grow even more in that kind of beauty? Because it will confirm that you have understood the ethos to work as a team. And this was exactly the question Mr. Keshe was asking. Now we will see if humanity will go into one direction if they really desire world peace. Because it's through the unification, not only from the science, but it's also the direction of our intent to work together. There are a lot of teams which are in different languages supporting, so it is already shared. So there should be no boundaries because you are from a different language or a different culture. Because it is shown into the Portuguese, the way the structure is sitting up. I have no idea, Rick. Do you know how many different languages are supporting through the knowledge seekers to get this done? Do you have an idea how many different speaking languages of knowledge seekers are present to support this team?
Well, I know there's at least a dozen major languages, but there's also probably in the hundreds, I would guess, of there's many languages, and like, for example, Gatwa has his language of his local group there, and so on. I don't know what it would be, but in the
I'm not
multiple.
talking about the stuff. I'm not talking even about the different topics. I'm talking to show the beauty, how united all these different speaking knowledge seekers from different origins. Flint, do you have an idea how many are in the group working as a language supporting this for the Portuguese?
In translating?
No. In bringing, sitting in the meetings, and no, the translation is different.
Yeah. You mean for setting up the Portuguese stuff and that kind of group, or the actual Portuguese people themselves?
No. How many different, we have the group,
Yeah.
of the university. Now, I know Sandra is there, for instance.
Mhm.
So that's Hungarian. You're there, I think, I assume.
Somewhere amount of 30 or so that are working on all the different aspects.
Yes, if there are about 30 people, how many different languages would be among those 30 people?
Well, right now it's primarily the Portuguese that we're setting up for, because the things that we're setting up is going to be universal for any language.
But the people involved have the Spanish language, Portuguese, French.
There were 36 persons without the Portuguese.
You see, 36, which are bringing the structure together to support the Portuguese language, to support that, to be able to appear in the universities in the Portuguese language.
So 36, and you have a 3 of 12, right? My math is correct? Powerful.
Very powerful. That's what I wanted to bring, that all the knowledge seekers which came in at the beginning and are still working and involved with it, if they can show and bring back, because they wandered off. It's normal. It's something people do. And because of these wishes which appeared before, we're calling them back in because they can add, and that's the beauty. A lot of people, this gentleman who asked the question before, he said, about what not to share and what to share, was more into that Mr. Keshe doesn't want to point out certain places, addresses, or events, dates, so that they cannot be obstructed. The knowledge is free. What is not getting released is because it is protected for it not to be uprooted before it even has time to mature, and that it is complete before it gets released. So it's always in a protective way that Mr. Keshe is working. So it's not to create fear or to be scared, it's more in the protective way that nobody gets harmed, that they cannot damage what is about to come, and that people, when it comes, cannot be damaged because it is complete. And that's the beauty of it. And every knowledge seeker which is working very close with the working and the running of the foundation knows this. Like Rick brought you one example, because we went all through this experience with Alan Sterling, with the pedophile case. We went through the experience with what Belgium was up to, and then Ghana, and then so many other places where we have to be careful. That's where that protective of not being so open in sharing is withhold to protect, because we learned, but it's not to harm. It's actually to stimulate that what needs to be brought, that it can come in its freedom. Anybody more suggestions how we can unite? Because I think that is the purpose of the world peace. Not only to unite the knowledge seekers, but also the knowledge, the know-how, and the support of the foundation, which is going in the direction of the world peace. And please, knowledge seekers, Mr. Keshe has sent an invitation out for the people which have working systems. Please bring them to our attention, the full operation and working of your systems, well documented in video, in explanation, in writing, so that you can present your work. Because it's time for us to start selecting the work so that the invitations can go out for the people which will appear to present. And as Mr. Keshe said, it will go under international view. It's not only for one, it will be shared worldwide. So don't be shy. And that's the reason, one of the reasons why this wish came about, and most probably why the whole discussion came on the table yesterday, the depth of the knowledge, the depth of the understanding, and to stimulate more knowledge seekers to take the time to stand still so that they can come with the completion of what they have understood. And then not to miss the opportunity of the beauty that it will go into public domain in the next few months, because it is coming. We can't stop it anymore. Like what was shown last Thursday in the presentation, those are all the beauties of the foundation, your work. We did it all together. Even if you can't be there in person, at least you can send in and we can take it for you so that it can be presented. And let it go, as Ella and so many others of the foundation team is asking, to bring your publications, your papers to be presented of your work. Don't be shy, don't hold back. And don't be shy to come up, to stand and to apply for being a support council member, or where you see that the opening of the universal council member in the languages is still open. You can do it. We are waiting to embrace so many. And we don't need to wait until it goes fully public to acknowledge that you already know that you can be part of it. Don't hesitate. As Mr. Keshe said, there are so many people capable, but are not coming forward. Anybody, any questions or suggestions or wishes? Nobody with a topic for today on the planet? Anybody from the Universal Council?
Hi, I will speak a little bit because as Universal Council Spanish, I'm very happy to participate and to be with you always and to create in my community many beautiful moments together. We are more and more. We have all also professors in universities coming up in Mexico, in Venezuela, in Argentina, but they need maybe to be more confident because of many reasons. Every country is different, and we have different countries, different ethos, different. We are all, some of us, more of us are emigrate. As you know, South America, the natives has been broken, and now they are starting to be stronger, thanks to those immigrants who are learning to be real humans, because we have elders and we have youngers and we have in between, as I wrote down at the moment. You can read if you want, and we are all learning together because there are millenniums, those born after the 60s. We have elders. I'm living in France. I have many elder friends, and you know, they are, when I talk to them about plasma, I seems to come as an extraterrian, changing their beliefs. So it's not always easy to speak about what we are doing. And then we have our own life, what we have been creating. I am 60 now, so I have some experience, life experience. I got 3 children. They are growing. They are beautiful. They are, okay, not always easy, but when you see how and here the relationship between elders and youngers are not so easy, because of all what you know, with manipulation, and here we have the yellow jackets. So many eyes are opening, and ears are starting to hear what they are saying. There are many who are explaining. I was hearing today the ancient ecology minister. Wow, he was astonished. I will put it on my Facebook, but you know, it's in French, and the other speaks Spanish, and the other speaks German, and okay, doesn't matter. There is a vibration there that we can transmit, and ourselves, as we are, really beautiful aims, beautiful talents, whatever. What you can speak, whatever language you can speak, whatever talents you have, doesn't matter. The most important is to be yourself, to feel your life, to feel your love, to feel others, feel your feelings, and so we can work together. That is the matter. Whatever you are, Africans, Indians, Chinese, doesn't matter. We are all the same, even if we are different. And it's this difference that we need to share, that we need to love and work with when we want to create one planet. And thanks to this technology, plasma technology, we are learning is for some 4 years or some more, much more, the beginners. Well, we are learning many things. We are changing every day, at every moment, and we are feeling now our channel, our portal. Whatever you want, you can have many meanings on what we are talking about, and it's your perceptions. It's everybody has his perception, and we must trade with this in our emotional life, with our children, with our parents, with our neighbors, with our school, with our whatever. Go out of this emotional poisoning and be on the beauty of the emotion, hurt and loving. So this is a big transition we are coming through, and it's not always easy because we have all our own problems and difficulties and money and sadness or whatever. Okay, we have all something with what we are fighting with, but it doesn't matter. It's our life. It was we have been attracting in our life to go through because we needed this. And for my experience, what I'm living in this beginning of year, I'm moving, and when you move, I have no income in this moment. I close my enterprise, so we're changing something, creating other things. This the people don't understand, because when you're different as the normality, what is normality? So with plasma science, we are different. So we are not normal for so many people. And all what is not normal in their perception, the first is dangerous, is not accepted. And then it becomes to be evident. When you start to help people coming out of their problems, their pain, they feel something. And many of them are working with breaks. They don't want to change their life. It's not that this technique don't work. It's that they don't want to change. And this is another problem. Everybody should then learn what is happening in their life. And we can help so much people, as we are doing, even in Europe and even in States. So this is the most difficult to do. But I feel that we will do it all together, helping each other, coming out of our own problems, our difficulties, seeing the life otherwise, with other eyes, with other feelings, better feelings. And okay, it's just beautiful. So hold on, give all what you can give. You have money, you have knowledge, you have whatever what you have. You have beauty and happiness. So give your happiness to others. It's the best you can give. Because when you learn, when you understand what is happening in this moment, in the world, the whole world, with so many terrific things and so beautiful things coming, even in nature. So it's just beautiful how this year is starting. And when we know all what we can do, everybody of us, wow, it's just to be happy with yourself. When you sleep, you're happy, you close your eyes, you think not about problems, but all what you can do with all what you are learning and being. And then you will start to give. You cannot do otherwise as giving what you feel, what you are, your happiness, your beauty, your joy, and all what you have around of you. You are creating your beauty. And this is it's a treasure. And thanks to this knowledge seekers program, thanks to the Keshe Foundation, to be in gratitude, in good feeling, in good awareness of all what you can do and be and have and give to others. So I'm really, really very happy to be there, to share with you, to help and propose our Spanish community. It's a very big one, and they are very revolutionary, and it's not always easy because they are fighting sometimes. And okay, there are Spanish, every country has his behavior and his attitude. Okay, but doesn't matter. We are happy to be together. We are growing and very, very happy to be together and show what we can do in our Spanish community and share it with you. And we are learning so much about everybody of you. Thank you to be there. Gratitude to all, really. Thank you to be here every day, because we are here every day, from the morning to the evening, and thinking what we can learn, what we can give, and hearing the playback of all what we are learning. There are so many things to hear. So it's just a gift, an enormous gift. And when you have not money to give to the foundation, give your time, give your beauty, give your dedication, give your everything you can give from yourself. You have not only money, you have also knowledge. This is the biggest richness you can have to give. I love you. Hope you will grow this year all as we are growing and giving more and more and being more and more knowledge seekers present, because the most beautiful gift for the foundation is your presence and your sharing and your giving. Thank to all.
Well, thank you, Ursula. Just put in the last statement.
We have more council members. I see your team is growing. Stefania, any news from Italy?
Hi, Caroline. Good
Hi,
afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Any news? You mean in Italy in general, or me in general? Because the last time, do you remember when I spoke about the G5? That was the concern about when I spoke last time with Vita, and I gave her the information that you passed me. Do you remember? That was the last concern. Then the earthquake. I don't know if you know that in Italy we have quite a few earthquakes. So this at the moment.
How heavy are they?
Mm-hmm. Sorry?
How heavy are the earthquakes in Italy?
Definitely, I think, in my understanding, I don't know if they play them down, but in Sicily we had a few earthquake, and also in near Naples, the Vesuvio became active a little bit. So we had a earthquake in Christmas in Sicily, and then some others just after Christmas. There were, I think people are concerned, but I think at the same time, the media, I think, my understanding, they play them a little bit down. They try to not alarm the people. So this was the things I noticed since I was here. And then, yes, I think this is maybe the main concern at the moment. This would happen over Christmas. But I didn't understand if I answered the question properly, because, as you know, I just logged in, so I missed a little bit, because I'm in Naomi house now. Giovanni just left, and I've been treating Naomi intensively every day for the last 10 days. So I've been quite how can I say it? Since I've been here, I've been a little bit just been doing this literally. And things going well. She had a lot improvement lately, very a lot improvements. So we're really happy with what's happening now. So the last 10 days I've been a little bit out of touch. So with the news, literally I didn't see any news since I've been in Giovanni's house. Yeah. So I don't know if what I'm saying now is correlating with what you were talking before, just because I joined you now, because I was treating Naomi. So I am.
Don't worry. It is beautiful news, especially about Naomi.
Yeah, she's starting a lot of new things, like so we're quite happy about lots of stuff that she's been doing that she never done before.
When Giovanni is ready, he will share. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Top.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think.
But mainly, I think the earthquake is the most concern.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that just up. That maybe it might be a good idea. To start getting in touch with the Italian community of knowledge seekers all over Italy and maybe even abroad, to be ready when it's necessary, because we are in the winter time. It is cold in certain parts of Italy. It is really cold. So to be ready in case there is a call of really emergency where we can jump in.
At the moment, I don't know if I told you that I'm starting into a group of women, and we try. Also, Giovanni helped me a lot. For example, as I was here, we recorded a little lesson that we're gonna share with this group of women. They are all Italians, so I'm trying to, and they're all interested about the plasma technology and cache technology. So we really starting kind of. I'm actually do the soul teaching, and for example, today, now that I'm here, we recorded something with Giovanni because he's very good with the guns. So we give him a little introduction about the nano coating and how to do the guns. We did a little video for them, and I said to them, you could or donate to the foundation, or in exchange, because I'm doing at zero cost, or give us some time to translate from, because as you know, we don't have many translators from English to Italian. So I'm trying to make in a little group of people. They will help me on translate, because first things they ask me, do you have anything in Italian? And as you know, there is stuff in Italian, but could be more stuff to be translated. And as the people know, in the KF SSI, you need a lot of people to it's a big job, basically. So one person will be too much for one person. So if you have a group of people helping you, so I'm trying to, exchange, because I said to them, for who wants to donate, can donate time or can donate money to the foundation. This is my intention. So slowly, I see the people are more and more interesting. So I'm making a bigger group. Slowly. I'm not good like Gatwa, but slowly, people getting together and are very interesting on. So I think this also going in line of what you just said on making people ready in case things happening. So first things spread knowledge, so they start to understand or introduce a new way of doing, new way of thinking for them to maybe overcome a problem in the future.
Thank you very much. That was exactly what we started.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah, you just went into the line of what was created as a wish.
Oh, wow.
So you fulfilled already one part through the Italian, confirming that how easy you can make people, as Sander said, enthusiastic to be part and what they can do in return. We have so much work to do. We can actually put the whole world population into business of working. There should be nobody without a job because we got so many to give.
People are ready for this. One thing for sure. I mean, even today, because I do actually have to say I really love, I really understand, I never understand it before, but I understand now than ever. And thanks to you, to all of you that you push us to teach on our own language. So now that I started this little group of Italian people, and I understand how it's important to teach in your own language. It is different. You really, when you teach your own language, definitely, as you said, you touch people's soul much easier. I don't know, much easier. Even for me, is easier. And what I noticed, the more I teach, that it really make me feel empowered. It really give me. I learn a lot by teaching, and it really give me. You can even say that, you know, when they say it help you to elevate you, it's actually you feel like you definitely feel better. Definitely you feel more. I don't know. You really have these things where you feel more empowered. I don't know if it's by teaching. You learn more by teaching. And I can see them really, really grateful for it because I don't charge for it. Since I said to them, I introduced the concept of donation. So I said, whoever the teaching is open for everybody. For who donate, who doesn't want to donate. But for who wants to donate, these are the things that are, you know, or donate to the foundation, or for the sharing of the knowledge, you know, or give us time, your time to help do things the way we need people. And I noticed there are people, they really want to donate and they really want to help. They really want to exchange what they're receiving. And there is this energy, it's like a motor that you start by, first of all, by giving. The usual things they always we say it, but I feel them by doing. So you really introduce this motor where you share your knowledge with others. The others really appreciate what you're doing, and they really thank you for it, and they want to exchange with something they can do. They want to do, because some people want to exchange with something. They want to do something for you to thank you. I can feel that. And then you say to them, look, these are the things that really needs at the moment where we have lack of. And you start to this circle where more people are receiving texts now of people from Italian people they are not even in Italy. Sometimes they are from other parts of Italy. They say to me, I know English. How can I help you to translate this? If you need help, I can help you to translate that. And then I have other people who text me. This woman told me about your teaching. I'm very interested. Can you tell me more about it? And then, you know, so I can really see this exchange of me giving. They want to give back, and then more people want to come in, and it's like a spiral, no, of energy get bigger and bigger. So I can see you start up an engine and you start up a motor, and you, if you know, I'm not really, my weakness is that I'm really bad organizing. I'm really bad with the computer. So I'm really maybe the worst person to start on this. But without any effort, as you give in, people will always want to give you back. And then somehow things slowly, they found their balance. and slowly the circle get bigger. So I've been now start this couple of months, so not long, but I can see slowly, even today, I had last week I had 3 people wanted to know more about it, and you know, about the plasma technology. Other people say, I'm interested about the soul teaching. I'm interested about the physical side of it, of the plasma technology, learning the guns, also the soul. So slowly, things growing without, you know, you start a momentum, and slowly things look like they find their position, they found their balance to it. So I'm just try to keep the things all going, even though I'm not very good person, on the sense that I'm not the best person to be organized or to be, but I can see that as long as you're prepared to give something, then something is like a motor that I don't know if I explained myself, but I'm really enjoying it, this process. I'm learning a lot, so hopefully Italian community will get bigger and will do more stuff.
They certainly will. I think they needed somebody to start. Unfortunately, after Fabio and Naomi situation, a lot of things became very difficult in Italy. It was not so easy because they were 2 young people donating as much time as they could, and with their joyfulness and their they were young, they brought so much and changed so many things for a lot of Italian knowledge seekers. So it will grow. You will see. You will become like Gatwa, maybe even go beyond Dr. Gatwa. Who knows? Because
wow.
you're in a, it's what you create. And if you start enjoying what you just explained, and you start feeling how pleasurable it is to be there to give. And it doesn't matter what they ask you, you know that you have so many knowledge seekers behind you that you can always go and say, I will ask, I will inform myself, and I will come back to you with the answer. And that's the beauty which I wanted to express in this wish, that the more channels and the more knowledge seekers which are there that we can reach them, the more you get to express the beauty and more souls are getting touched. You wake up more and more and more people. So for sure, Stephanie, it took you a little bit of time, but you know, you were not 100% sure that you were capable. And I've seen other knowledge seekers which then panic and back off and then disappear again till they get encouraged again. And it's your soul that is bringing you where you're supposed to be. And some people are just afraid of facing this beauty, because it is a beauty, and you should never hold back. You should never be afraid. You should be, it gives you the self-confidence. Always remember what Mr. Keshe said. When you teach this knowledge, it doesn't matter what topic you try to cover or what topic you are covering. You cannot do nothing wrong. It might look wrong. It might be assumed that it goes the wrong direction, but it isn't. You cannot harm nobody with this knowledge. You can't. It will always turn into the benefit for the purpose for it to serve. And this is a confidence I want to give to all the knowledge seekers. Doesn't matter where you are positioned, what you're teaching, what you're working on, you can't do wrong. Stick to the basics and let your heart speak in your teachings and your sharing. You cannot go wrong. That is a promise of Mr. Keshe. You cannot harm. Even if you analyze, for you to be receive the confirmation of that is, he has explained it in so many different ways that sometimes you have to go into the direction that you assume it is bad and you assume it is wrong, but it's a learning process you have to go through to mature. For that to be taken in account, you change your path, you change your direction, and then suddenly it turns up all to the benefit of so many. We've seen it in Ghana, we've seen it in so many different ways. Just look at what Belgium has started, because that's, and some other issues which started before Belgium, but actually Belgium, you can use it as a firework, if I may name it this way. But, you know, every spark which came from there, and it looks so wrong, and it has been done so wrong, and it has hurt, and it has done this, and it has done that. But look what it has brought the foundation. It has brought the foundation to Italy, from the north to the south, and then from Italy somewhere else, and from there again somewhere else. But wherever we have embedded ourselves, we have left and planted a seed of knowledge, hope, and start a new process of understanding. And you all have been on this journey with us. We have not done this journey on our own. Impossible. So look at the fruits where you have walked or path in the direction of the world peace. I started with Mr. Keshe from England, and then from England to Belgium, Belgium to Italy. Italy, we went to, if I remember correctly, the first one was Ghana. Then we went to China. We have touched down in so many different, also Austria. We've been in France. We've been touching down in so many different places. But all of us, we have left the seed of the change. And none of you can say, I wasn't part of it. Because you were already there. Maybe you appeared a few years later, or this year later, and there later. We have touched down in Italy. We have touched down in so many places. And look what has been growing out of it. Just look. Look where it has expanded, and the knowledge seekers which have come to us and then returned back home, what they have kickstarted. Alex, Ghana, you name it. You see it just growing. I just suggested to Mr. Keshe in the management meeting, I said, I think it's time for us to travel to more places to set the spark off, without even them knowing that we're on our way. In workshops, in presentations, in teachings, out of nowhere, we will be there, we will be present, because we support your work. And wherever we can, we put the hands out to pull more knowledge seekers for it to be supported. For all of us to become a beautiful team. You always have people which will go against you, but they have to be there. That's their point of whatever, for whatever reason they are there. They're strong-headed, they want to go their way, or they walk away and they start their own journey, and then suddenly they reappear somewhere else again. Because they walk away because they need to go on a path of experience, collecting more, maturing, and then they come on back and they add it. But this time, this wish was to create, to regain the strength from where they all departed to come back. Because in 2 months' time, or 3 months' time, or in a few weeks' time, all the souls will be called up, because as Mr. Keshe promised, it will be a big change. And you're all involved and you're all part of it. And you're all those souls which carry the beauty of it. We can't say enough that we didn't do this all by ourselves. Impossible. Each one of you has been part of it. And it's a beautiful journey. And don't back down and don't back off and don't disappear and don't be afraid. Unless maybe take it as a blessing that you need to mature somewhere else for them to come back on your journey. Do not be intimidated. Do not be scared. Because all the knowledge seekers are trying to do their utmost best to give the best, to create the best, and keep following the path, because that's how we're going to unite. And you're correct, Stephanie, in regards of the own spoken teaching in the language, because that is home for you. It's like the food, the environment, the people. You feel cozy, you feel home, you feel more relaxed, and the understanding goes to a much bigger depth. Azar came back with the same explanation. She said, when Mr. Keshe was teaching in Iranian, my God, she says, it sounds completely different. And I suddenly, things that I didn't get in the English, now I understood because it came into my own language. So we do encourage for you to stay multi-language, but as a team, sharing among and translations are very important. And it's a very good idea, Stephanie, to ask, oh, you want to donate time? Please do translate. Because you serve your own language in the depth that that knowledge can go deeper and take its seeds and its roots, because the understanding process goes much easier.
It come naturally, because the first thing they will ask me, have you have this in Italian, because we don't speak English. And so I will say we have some stuff in Italian, but not much. This is exactly what we need. We need whoever of you can speak English, if you can help to translate and a certain way, because they are interested to learn and they want to learn more. Then for them is interest to also translate. So it's come automatic that these are the things they want to do first, because they want to have more information.
May I give you an advice, Stefania? Mm-hmm. You know, you started this group and you teach. Mm-hmm. Please, to make it very, very simple and easy, record what you teach.
Yeah, I do that. I do that all the time.
And then give it to the Italians which don't understand English, and they can type it out, and then they can work on the Wikipedia. And it can be published.
Yeah, now I was trying, what I was doing, I was recording always everything, because I'm always think for who cannot be part of the meeting, something, if it's recorded, then this will be for everybody. At the beginning, my fear was as well, because some people say don't record, because once it's recorded, you know, and they said maybe you have to make sure the information are correct, because at the end of the day, I give my interpretation of what I understood about, for example, what I'm doing a lot, it's soul teaching, because I have very little experience with making guns. The only time I did the guns was only once, and was for my friend with the cancer, and I never done it again, you know. So I was not confident at all to teach anything. It was practical. That's why now that I'm with Giovanni, I ask if please he could do a little presentation. So now we had this, I got this little presentation, and I got this. I got my interpretation of the soul teaching, and for me this was, like I said to you, was kind of a trial because I didn't know I was able to do it. But it's exactly what you said just now. You cannot go wrong if you got good intention of sharing knowledge, and the people have like you said, you just cannot go wrong, because the moment you share knowledge, there is this, it's like a vibe, or this feels, or this a well-being factor that it surrounds everyone, and it's really you really rise the fields. I don't know how to say it. So it's nearly not necessary even the way you do it, as long the intention there is good. I don't know how to say it, but when I said you start this motor, you have this well-being feelings and energy. Even my life is better. I got less fear, less, it's contagious. So it's like, I don't know.
It's like a virus.
Yeah, yeah. And then, you pay more attention when you learn. For example, now when I'm listening you, or when I listen Cash talking, or when we do our meetings, because you have to teach, you pay more attention. I don't know how to say. And then, like you said, because you teach your own language as well, it goes in deeper, like Azar said. It's all, it's all exactly what you said. It can literally not going wrong. It's kind of impossible to make it wrong, basically. And you
brought something back, Stefania. There has been a lot of teachings in Barletta about how to make GANs in Italian. You can find those presentations. I came across one very recently, and that was with the students which came into Barletta, and Giovanni was part of it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm now collecting all this, because my intention originally was not doing, because I never thought I was good at it. So my intention was only soul teaching, maybe because again, for fear or not delivering properly. So I always push every time I talk with my student. I mean, they're not really students, because they're just group of friends of friends. So I really try to really work on the soul teaching, because I thought that was my the things I understood better for me, But nevertheless, the moment you introduce them to the plasma technology, the plasma technology has got many facets, and everyone is different. So everyone, it's relating to things in different ways. So now I'm kind of, it's like a flow that you have to follow. So I put a type of flow, and they give me another type of flow, and we try to balance out this flow. So now I'm people are interested on doing GANs. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm trying to collect things for people who wants going to making GANs, because that is good too, like you said, no? Because that is another way to spread the fields. So at the end of the day, doesn't matter how you do it. It again is the intention behind and what you want to achieve. So it's good. Everything is good, So again, that's why, like I said before, you cannot really do it wrong. So yes, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to collect now as much, and I'm learning, because as I'm collecting for them, I have to look for it, and then you kind of learning. Now I'm in a situation where I'm a little bit on my own. I'm in transition where I want to take these people now, do more like professionally, in the sense that, like you said, share with Wikipedia, share with the KF SSI, make everything more official. So now I'm going to this transition where if before it was just like a trial, now all these people start to call me and said, well, I want to know more. I want to know more. What is it? I think this is the missing link that I was waiting for. So now slowly I have to find a way to fit them with the foundation and do everything more official. So like you said just now, share with Wikipedia. To tell you the truth, what I've been doing so far, I thought it was not good enough to be shared. But at the same time, maybe for me it's not good enough, but for them it's good. So for someone who don't know nothing about, for them is super good. So there's also these things where, you don't realize that maybe because I've been following the foundation for a while now. So I think I'm still a beginner, but somebody else who just enter maybe thinks I know a lot. So there is all this feedback that you get to know by put yourself out there, no? And the important things out there and sharing, and then
Stefania,
Yeah.
you already appeared in Nino in Belgium.
Yeah.
I send you the pictures. So how many years is that ago?
I think I've been following you since 2008. I remember very well when Yvonne told me about you and Cash, and I couldn't sleep. That night I couldn't sleep. And I take a train to come and meeting you. I don't know if you remember, we had a dinner with, and I couldn't talk much. I was so shocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it took me 5 years even to realize what you were doing, because at the beginning, Ivan was telling me, Cash took him with water, he cured him with water. I was saying, water? We didn't know what for us. It was so fun. It took me years to even understand what's going on.
The funny thing is that when I look back at those pictures, because I came across them, it was surprising how many Italian people were in that meeting.
Yes, yeah.
It was extremely Romanians, Americans, Italians, from Holland, from Belgium. I don't remember all the languages, but it was amazing.
Yes, I remember them really well.
Multicultural and multi-diverse language was already present there from the beginning when we started.
Yes. I always remember in the breaks when Cash was doing these talks in Minov, and in the breaks I remember doctors or even Italian doctor, very famous Italian doctor, would say to me, oh my God, if this man is right, 20 years of study, I have to throw it in the bin, because he was talking, like the talk that we're used to now, he was doing then already, and people just couldn't believe their ears, and they said, whatever we study, we have to throw in the bin, we have to, restart all over again. Some people were worried because they could see, this new way of thinking at the time. I mean, maybe they never heard someone like Cash talking like that before. And I remember no one, because do you remember there were scientists, doctors, I don't know if there were astronauts as well. There was people from all over the world coming to see Cash doing this beautiful seminar, and no one, ever kind of contradict him, because he always sounds, logical. Everything he said had it makes sense, and it always sound correct,
you think?
Even doctor, I remember this one, he did a talk on the lungs, and no one could, he challenged them, and no one could contradict him, because everything he said make completely sense. So, yeah, it was amazing. I remember. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
So, knowledge seekers, I hope you receive the right stimulation, the right enthusiasm to start, not to hold back, to become one big, huge team in connecting and sharing and really connecting other people with the knowledge that maybe you don't have at hand. But please take your time to go through the knowledge, and you're not wasting time. You're not losing time to take more time to go into depth, so that the week after or 2 weeks after, one of the students or the knowledge seekers can come back and say, I understood, now I can work with it because I have done the result and now I can bring it back. And these are the platforms that should come more and more on the table, that the feedback from the students or the knowledge seekers, wherever they are working, come back with your results. Please do so. Test them out. Take your time. Do what you can. You're in no hush. You're in no hurry, but just go and take the topic which your heart goes out, which you have your interest for. Because Mr. Keshe gives information which links, he talks about one thing, but you have to open it up in much smaller slices, because you think it shows a totality, but in so many ways you have to go into the depth. And he warns, teaching after teaching after teaching, just go back through the last few teachings. One word before, the word he used to use before was, you need to give it a purpose to serve. This time he is insisting, time and time, over and over again, it has to be understood. So it is no use to go too fast through the teachings. Go slow, go into the depth, and at least come back, whoever got it, the full understanding, and bring it back to the class. Bring it back on the platform. Bring it into your teachings. Bring it into your workshops. Wherever, say, I have the confirmation, I understood. Because as Mr. Keshe said, the beauty sits that you become part of that soul, which then becomes, you become part of Mr. Keshe's soul and the totality and the universal community, because that's the gift you receive when you go to the depth of the understanding that you can bring back and put it on the table. Because the more you put it this way, the more you touch other knowledge seekers than to be able to go into depth in their direction, what they're working on. Because you encourage them, you enlighten them, because they see you progressing, because you come forward with it. They get the enthusiasm and the feeling and the know-how that they don't need to be scared, that they might not understand or not make it. To take the fear away, what Stefania just brought. No fear. I slowed down the teaching yesterday because a video of 10 minutes of Mr. Keshe, you got to chop it down and look on what, in which different topics he opens up, in what depth of the knowledge. One is the physicality, one is in your matter state, the creations you're making, the reactors, the magraphs, whatever you're working on. And then he goes into the biological, the health part, and then he suddenly goes into the soul part. So within that 5-10 minutes of teaching, you find the treasures when you stop them on time, to look like a magnifier to open them up. Don't go too fast. Don't skip. Go slow and go to the depth to bring the understanding on the table. Because when you do and you make that jump, we all are evolving, we are all elevating. Because you're part of the group, you're part of the team, you're part of the Keshe Foundation family, you're part of everything. So you touch all the others once you can achieve that platform of understanding. It is extremely important, and it should not scare people, and it should not make and create no fear. Because each one of us are opening doors in different ways. And it's not coming from me, it is coming from Mr. Keshe. He keeps on repeating. Just how many times does he repeat the word you got to understand? It has to be understood. So it means the importance sits in what he emphasizes throughout his teaching. The only way we can do it is by going into depth, the nitty-gritty, and opening smaller parts the way he's teaching. Because that's how we're going to make all the pieces and bring the pieces of the puzzle together on the table. That we are ready when the first portal starts kickstarting into public domain, we are on board. So don't hesitate to go into depth. Stefania was one of the beautiful examples, Ursula before, and so many others of you. And you all know we don't need to call all your names. You know where you're working in your domain and you're good. Just don't hesitate to bring it back on the table. The results and understanding. That's how we're going to become one glue of teamwork and exchange of knowledge. Because we record them, we keep them, so even the future generations can go back to what you have added to the totality. You don't leave nobody behind. Anybody, any suggestions or sharing or more wishes to be put on the table?
Well, I'd like to say that I really like Stefania's statement that it's like starting a motor. And that's applicable to many of the things that you've just been discussing, Carolina. And it's so simple. It's like starting a motor. Of course, some motors aren't particularly easy to start, maybe if they're Italian motors, especially. But that's the process. It's you cranking, and it might be cold, and if it's a cold motor, it takes longer to start, and it might be a little finicky to get it going, and so on and so forth. Once you got that motor going, that's your energy source to carry on to. Then you can actually go places, literally and figuratively, after that motor started. And that's sort of, it's sort of like getting into second wind, is the way I look at it. Stefania's been working with this, trying to, well, she hasn't been trying to get people together. People have been coming to her, and now she's thinking about getting people together and so on, and where to place them, how to position herself and position others and so on. And she's started this motor, and now the motor's running, and it's up to her to direct where that energy goes and where that energy flows. And it's, in a way, you start a motor as a mechanic, and then you are driving the vehicle. And that, as a teacher or a driver of that vehicle, you are directing that flow and are directing where that vehicle's going. So it's a different responsibility, but it's also when you're working with others and they help you to direct where you're going and suggest how to get there, and maybe they've been to places before, and so on and so forth. It's a journey. It's not just a place you go to, but a journey. But you have to start the motor to start the journey. So starting the motor just simply means paying back and paying attention and getting involved and being part of that life that this plasma teaching brings to people. So there's lots of starting points, you might say, and different entry points that people can get involved with the workings of the Keshe Foundation and the whole teaching and technology and whatever aspect that you happen to identify with. That's part of what you can get some joy and pass on to others with. And it can be anything from the matter level nano coding or ganses or reactors, right through to, like Stefania was saying, the soul level, and that seems to interweave with the all of the above. So it's actually a very exciting thing to get into. I don't know what to call it exactly. The whole teaching that Mr. Keshe has brought forward in the last years. It's a thing that people can get involved with, and getting involved means lots of different things, and getting involved always means paying back in some manner. So just getting involved is a way of paying back in a way. So you can't help but start to talk to others about it and allow them links and knowledge and information that helps elevate their lives, so they can pass on the flame or maybe the keys to the motor to get their motor started. Anyway, thank you for that simple statement, Stefania. I think it says a lot.
Any more council members?
Moshfek, I would like to add a little bit in terms of, we are talking about giving, and let's think a little bit about those who are receiving the knowledge, and in whatever ways we send this knowledge to them, be it the soul level, physical teaching, or emotional level. There are a lot of people who are, especially where I am, are coming, they have come to know about this, and you know, there is this it's interesting and all that, and some of them are benefiting from it directly. So one of the things as the knowledge seekers here, we can elevate their souls so that they can they are more willing to receive this knowledge, and not just receive the knowledge, but when it comes to their turn, they also act as a distributor of this knowledge. So yes, it helps to elevate those who are not doing too well, but it also helps to elevate those who are neither there or here. So I think there are so many of these people, and many of them are very capable. I know many of my friends and so forth. They listen to me, they know me well, but at the same time, this is, Stefania was talking about these doctors and scientists. They were afraid of all the things that they know. Now that they know this knowledge is available, that they have to adjust themselves to accommodate the Keshe Foundation knowledge. So this fear. So my wish is to elevate those who have the fear of embracing this, and in embracing also benefiting their loved ones and the planet as a whole, and bringing the whole planet to peace and unity. So perhaps is this a wish that can be written, or I don't know whether that's a requirement, but I think this is something that, as I was listening about giving, I think the receiving or the end has to be acknowledged as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mashfaq. Was there anything that you wanted put down in black and white here regarding a wish or statement?
Yeah, perhaps we can do it in some pattern. I'll start and let's try to do this, and
okay.
It will be a little more tangible that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish to elevate those who are receiving the knowledge so that they can benefit from this knowledge and give it to others. So that the whole planet benefits from it and we reach world peace. Okay, anything we need to make better? Rick, what do you think?
Well, I would have to probably refer to Gatwa if he was still attending here, and he would have some correction of English or something relevant to say that way. But
spoken English, so anyway, I think it carries the essence of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, very good, Mashfaq. And speaking of Gatwa, he did have a suggestion for Carolina's initial wish here. So I put his suggested edit underneath her original because it's perhaps more proper English, you might say, because Gatwa has very proper English. And but I didn't want to take away from the sort of the intention or the slightly different slant maybe of the original of Carolina. So I'm putting both of them there with Gatua's suggested edit. Either can be used for official purposes. Thank you, Gatua. Thank you for keeping me on top of that, especially the word that. I use it quite often now where I didn't before, and I put that in to my statements, and it makes more proper sense.
Thank you very much, Rick. I have also sent my wish.
Okay, let me put that down here. Okay, so do you want to read it, Gatwa?
Sure. I wish to elevate the souls of all Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers, teachers, and founders, for them to elevate all other souls across the world. And my wish is my command. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Gatwa.
You're welcome.
Space that down into the next one. There we go. Okay, any more wishes or comments? Christian, you had your hand up earlier. If you want to go ahead and speak there.
Yeah, hello, thank you. Good evening. I would like to know more about the way we are always wishing, and I can feel in my soul how it works, but I would like to understand it deeper to make it even more something that works, and to if I understand it, I can contribute even more to the wish, how it works. So we are creating, obviously, some kind of attraction for the wish to be fulfilled. But how does it exactly work that our wish, our soul, creates such an attraction? You know what I mean? Maybe it's not the right place here to talk about it, but I would like to understand more.
Yeah, that makes sense to understand the technology of how the wish works, basically.
Yes,
okay,
that's right. Thank you for translating.
Well, no, you said it well. I just said it differently. Mark, was that you I heard?
No, I was just saying the mechanics is if the wish is intent is to serve and to serve the universe, not the wish is that I get new tires on my car. So the mechanics are to serve. The wish must be to serve, and then it works.
Or what we call the intention, I guess, would be the sort of ground level. You have to set your intention. What's your intention for the wish as part of it before it even gets formulated, I guess you might say. In other words, the intention wouldn't be, okay, I need new tires for my car, so I better set a wish for that. Or maybe it would be just to prove to yourself the universe does respond to your wishes or something. But
and maybe that's not wrong either. If those tires are used to take you to teach somewhere, that's a correct wish.
That's right. As soon as I said that, I was thinking that, you know, who am I to say that someone's wish is not correct in that sense? Because they could have the intention that wow, I really need these tires to get me to this workshop that I'm teaching. Lord, help me here. Whatever it is that you put out in order to attain the attention of the universe, in order for that to manifest, let's say. But yeah, it's but again, it's usually more than just a personal gratification type of wish. That is one that connects with our soul. So that's where the deeper aspect seems to come into it. So is there a difference? There's a question maybe, is there a difference between a soul wish and the wish of the physicality? Is that something that is part of this technology of forming a wish? Do we have to even worry about that? Do we just, who's the we that we are talking about? So each person is different in terms of what they think is a wish, how to form a wish, and what results they might get from a wish.
Rick, I have sent a correction to my wish to start the wish by giving. I give from my soul.
Okay.
Please.
I give from my soul instead of wish.
Yeah, I have actually, yeah, I have put it in writing. I give from my soul to elevate. Yes, that's correct. And that exactly answers the question that Christian had about how does it work. We have to know that you give first in order to receive. So we give from our souls to elevate. That means I give first, and then if you don't give, you can't receive. The more you give, the more you receive. So after giving from my soul, then I can elevate the souls of others. Thank you very much.
Yeah, in a way, when we say I wish, depending on how we say it, you can have I wish and it's going out like giving, or we can go I wish and it's more like grabbing and containing. So depending on what the attitude is of the wishing, perhaps perhaps that giving or that outward wishing, that wishing for the benefit of others somehow, the wishing for a beneficial outcome, a better outcome somehow, is part of that giving, whereas the wish is the I wish, where it's more contained, is more like an I want, or the physicality wants. You know, I want an ice cream. I wish for an ice cream. I really wish for an ice cream. Well, is that the soul wishing for an ice cream? Well, maybe it is. I don't know. But generally, it might be the physicality is really wanting an ice cream. It's not necessarily for the benefit of others or any other entity other than me, myself, and I, which are all concerned about this ice cream. So,
and again, maybe the universe does give you the ice cream.
Well,
along with the idea that getting what you wish for is not always what you want, but you wished for it and now you received it. But then if I ate so many ice creams, I got too big.
yeah. Like they all started melting, and then you had to deal with melting ice cream all over the place. Who knows what a nightmare that could be. So you got to be careful what you wish for. That's the saying. That's part of the technology. You know, if you had a genie's lamp and you polished the lamp and it gave you, the genie came out and gave you 3 wishes, well, you know, you have to be careful what you wish for. If you're still wishing for ice cream, boom, there goes one of the wishes. And then you wish that you could clean up the mess because of all the melting ice cream. Oh, there's 2 wishes. That doesn't give you much left to go on, right? But if your wish was to attain peace for all of mankind, bingo, okay, that's the first wish. Any more that you need? Well, while you're at it, affluence and prosperity for everyone. Okay, what else would you like? Oh, I'll save one for later. You know, it's when we're faced with that decision that we're granted the wish, whatever you wish for right at this moment, you can have. What would you wish for? And, you know, depending on the situation, a lot of people might wish for financial support or emotional support, or wish to be able to get that new game for their Nintendo machine or something. I don't know. There's so many people are in so many different levels and so many different things going on in their life, that if they were given the chance right at this moment to have any wish that they could, what would most people wish for? What would you wish for? That's what we're going for here. And we have Jalal with his hand up to relieve me from my mouth talking too much. Jalal, go ahead. Here, let's, there, you should be able to speak there now.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Craig.
Hi.
If you didn't bring me to the panelist, how can I speak?
Well, there's a way to do it without that, but I'll put you to panelist. That would be better. Let me do that. It might be a glitch here for a minute while you make the journey transit in between. There should be there now. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I would like to send a love to Naomi from Keshe family. And I hope Stephanie can kiss her for us. And I am with all your wishes, as Katwa always said.
How about I put down love to Naomi here?
Yes, please.
How was it you put it? Love to Naomi from the
Keshe
knowledge
family.
from the Keshe Foundation Knowledge Seekers.
No, Keshe family.
Ah, yes, that's it. And you had something else added to that.
A kiss.
Ah. From Stefania. And a kiss. Need help, Joel.
Wait, let me put it in.
Just a kiss, is that it? Period? That can work.
And kiss of health.
Kiss of health.
Yes.
Just to be clear.
This is a new product, Rick. You're probably not familiar with the Kiss of Health.
The Kiss of Health, not to be confused with the Kiss of Hell. So you could have two products depending. No, we only have one, the Kiss of Health. You can't have the Kiss of Hell. That doesn't work in the GAN's world. So perfect. If you want it left like that, Jalal, or would you add something to it?
If any of Keshe family would like to add something.
Can the Keshe family speak?
Yes, please.
Ah.
Haha.
Mama is coming in.
Mama Keshe family person, yes. Mama Bear.
What a lot of people are forgetting or hasn't been put under that kind of attention is you always go first to support the family which is supporting the person which is in need, because they are the ones which are supporting the one which is suffering with all their energy, because they are embracing them with all their love and care. So to kickstart the one who carries the problem, you got to look after the ones which take care of the loved one, because they always need to be stronger than the person that is suffering.
You are quite right. But tomorrow I will teach you what is going on after 5 o'clock. What is the meaning of giving and what you receive? So what you wish.
Excuse me, you create the wish, you finish it.
I sent my wish to you, Naomi. You want to give to the family? It's okay. I am with you. I am present also.
So create it for me, please. I've given you a hint.
Okay. Family, come. Join. Is Gatwa there? Wait. Gatwa is here. Come. Gatwa.
Yes, Jalal. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You are the golden heart.
How about just adding the family, love to Naomi and her family, or her supportive family?
Or to her family and all caregivers. Many times when people see someone pushing the wheelchair, they always look at the person in the wheelchair and feel, oh, sorry, or so on. But it's the person pushing the wheelchair that needs the elevation.
That's beautiful, Mark. Absolutely, yes. I love that.
Carolina suggested it.
So, Jalal, do you want to give love, love through your soul to Naomi and her family?
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
is family of supporters okay, or would you like to keep it just her family?
And supporters. Yes, there is a lot of supporters.
And supporters.
And supporters, okay.
So the Keshe family gives love to Naomi and her family, Now gives love to Naomi, comma, her family, comma, and supporters, and the keys of health. So that can be edited. The Keshe, beginning with the Keshe family, gives love.
Oh,
Do you
the Keshe family gives love?
Yes.
Okay.
To Naomi. Her family. Or gives love and a kiss of health. And then the rest follows. That could, yeah. How about that, Jalal?
It's beautiful, Gatwa.
Thank you very much. Her family, comma, and supporters.
Happy with that? So the Keshe family gives love and a kiss of health to Naomi, her family, and supporters. Okay, well done, Jalal.
Thank you, family.
And Gatwa. And Carolina. And anybody else who contributed across the universe. Jeez, you have to start to include everyone here with their all-inclusive policy.
Hello.
Hello.
I just want to add something beautiful. Through Caroline's wish, I think everybody arrived to a big reflection and understanding of our journey until today. And I think everybody's gonna shift and reposition themselves to keep doing the journey from a different position, which is an example of what Mr. Gadwa said. And understanding that when we work with intentions, it's going back to my idea, is this field what we're doing is pure love, is giving. And it's the, I think Mark also made an excellent remark, is to serve. We are here to serve. And through these wishes, sorry, the gardeners are killing me. And it's like we have all these little details of samples of how plasma transform lives, awake up people on the journey of the soul and understanding why we are here. And suddenly it's not only an individual or your family, it's also the group on the team and the foundation and then the soul of the man. We are all as one planet. And this is like the big picture of, you know, our introduction to each workshop Mr. Keshe talked. And they said, look guys, we're doing it. It suddenly is manifesting. We're starting to work really in essence, you know, from the field as the soul of the man. And that's what I want to share, that everybody were talking and things coming to me like, whoa, you know? And it's happening, it's real. So that's what I want to share.
Okay. Is there any part of that that you'd like to put down in black and white, as we say?
Well, it's part of what my wish was very abstract, maybe deep into the big picture. But what I see, the way how other people put the wish is actually in the application of what I was saying in the big picture, you know, when you work from the unified field of love and you giving and receiving and everything you do, and that's the serving to this elevation of the soul of the man. And we discover that knowledge through our individual journey. How Caroline said, everybody for X reasons, everybody has a different journey, but at the end of the path, everybody arriving to the same awakening, understanding why we're doing this and what's the mission. So my wish is basically that unification is the understanding of the elevation of the soul of the man, because that's what is the main cause for everybody. The healing of Naomi, supporting the dad, Dr. Ganwa with the agriculture and helping awaken other farmers and that's the whole, the little detail, but in the big picture is the soul of the man and also the planet and all the souls in this planet, because we are all one, My unification is that through the Keshe bridge, because that's I wrote it. For me, the foundation, Mr. Keshe has been the bridge, bringing down the knowledge so we can walk that pathway to reach, that field. So the foundation has been the bridge to us, with the, the essence of love, giving without expecting, and and we are all thank you for that. So thanks.
Good point, Stella. Okay, I think we're probably approaching the end of our meeting today. Carolina, are you still on hand there? What do you think? Is there anyone else that would like to go ahead at this moment?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I couldn't get fast enough to my microphone. What did you ask, Rick?
I'm just thinking it might be time to wrap up here. It's just over 3 hours now.
Yeah, I think it was a beautiful session. If nobody has any more room to add to the family pot, as we can say.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, team, and all the knowledge seekers. Be aware of your beauty. You are beautiful. And we are on a beautiful journey. And I don't think a single knowledge seeker has any doubts about that. Your journey might not be pretty clear where you're going, as I think all of you have come to understand. I did not know where I would be today here with all of you today. My life started from a whole different point and different experience, and it all had to be there for it to be where it is today. And all your lives have gone through the same journey to add to all that diversity of beauty into that big family pot. So I thank you, team, for being here every week. And we only have given you an extra day of public teaching and on top of all your other work you're taking so much and beautiful care of. So I cannot thank you more, and the knowledge seekers which are present in every teaching. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Okay, well, thank you, Caroline, for being there for us in the last 62 of these One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace sessions. It's been quite a run, and we've had a lot of fun. And I think that rhymed. And now we'll bring things to a close for today's One Planet, One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace. And go ahead.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but it came to me, but because I couldn't hit the microphone but fast enough, I forgot. But now it came back as you were saying goodbye. Please, all knowledge seekers, can we say I am present to all the above beautiful wishes we have brought today? I am present.
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 And we have many that have announced they're present in the chat. And I'll let that be as it is. Thank you, everybody, for being present here today in the 63rd One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace for Tuesday, January 22nd, 2019. And stay tuned for the same next week, as well as we have the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group and the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on Thursday at 9 a.m. So, as well as there's public teachings in various languages in the regular teachings of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, as well as the regular private teachings, as the students know. Okay, let's wrap things up for today. Flint, thank you very much, Flint and team, for support. And we all thank Mr. Keshe for his donating his knowledge to us all to better this planet and all on it. Okay, let's carry on.
Hello. We are the Keshe Foundation. Our mission is to bring peace on Earth and join humanity with the universal community. We wish and work to bring man as equal to all beings in the universe. By teaching plasma science and technology equally to everyone, no one is left out and no one is abused due to lack of knowledge. By donating to us, you can help achieve this goal. keshefoundation.org/donate.
plasma products found at keshefoundation.org/store. Soothing, reusable plasma eye and migraine mask. Eliminate eye fatigue and relieve stress in eye area. European certified medical device. Massaging plasma insoles. Bring comfort back to your feet and energize your legs. European CE certified medical device. Antiseptic plasma liquid hand soap. Promotes well-being and relaxation with protective plasma formula. CE certified. One Soul Plasma T-shirt. GAN's formula within the symbols and stripes brings mind, soul, and body into balance. European certified. Pain Relief Pen. Emits a concentrated plasma field at point of pain, efficient up to 3 centimeters below the skin. CE certified. The Magrav's Energizer and Alkalizer raises pH and energizes water through magnetic and gravitational fields. CE certified medical device. Pain Relief Pad, a result of years of research in nanoplasma technology with magnetic and gravitational fields. CE certified medical device. Visit the online store at keshefoundation.org/store or find a distributor near you. Tax and shipping not included.